Help, I'm broke! Splatoon 3 added so many ways to spend your hard-earned cash. Back in Splatoon 2, you used to only use your money for weapons, clothes, and scrubbing your gear, meaning you'd have a ton of coins left over, but not anymore. In Splatoon 3, you can use 5,000 coins for a daily gachapod roll. You can buy clothing items multiple times to increase their stat rating and add extra ability slots. And you can also buy an indefinite amount of decorations for your locker. So as you can imagine, every time I hit the shops, I find myself short on money. What is this, Genshin Impact? That left me wondering, what is the best way to earn money in the game? Because the shops reset every day at 8 PM EST, and sadly, I cannot be playing Splatoon 3 all day long just to farm money. But also, I don't want to miss out on getting at least one of each thing. And since the internet didn't have an answer at the time, I had to figure it out myself. Watch out, gamers, I've committed a science. To find out the best way one can earn money in the game, I first had to observe all the possible ways to make money. So I played 5 games of Turf War, 5 games of Anarchy series, 5 games of Anarchy Open, and 5 games of Anarchy Open with friends. I also did my Salmon Run shifts up until getting the last super bonus. From there, I set up a spreadsheet to calculate how many coins I gathered at the end of each match, whether I won or lost, how much turf I've inked, and all of the bonuses we get at the end of the game. Then, using my mathematical skills, I tried to deduct the formulas behind each outcome, and then did some more battles to make sure that these formulas were correct, and they were. So, here's what I found. For Turf War, if you win, you get coins equal to the amount of turf you've inked, plus 1,000. If you lose, you only get coins equal to the amount of turf you've inked. All of the Anarchy battles followed the same formula regardless of whether it was series, open, or open with friends. If your team managed to win with a knockout, you get 3,000 coins. If your team lost by getting knocked out, you get nothing. If your team simply loses the battle but does not get knocked out, you get coins equal to how far you pushed the objective times 5. For example, let's say you played some tower control and managed to get the tower to 64, then lost. That means you've scored 36 points and will get 180 coins, which is really sad, but hey, that's better than nothing, I guess. Now, if your team wins, that's when you get the big money. In this case, your earnings are still based on the amount of points you scored during the game times 5, but you also get a bunch of extra money from bonuses. There is the guaranteed 1,500 win bonus, a 500 coin bonus for having played a full 5-minute match, and another 100 coins for good measure. So again, as an example, you're playing Clan Blitz, your team turns things around at the last moment, and you end up winning with 19 points on the board, meaning you've scored 81 points total. So you'll be getting 405 extra coins for that victory, plus another 2,100 from the bonuses. To get even more coins from winning, I suggest using a money ticket to buy one of those crab trap sandwiches, which will either give you 50% more money as a reward or double your earnings depending on which one you buy. You might be wondering, what about that big one over there? The Mega Mount a la Marigold! This one I would advise you save for when you play with friends, as it doubles the cash earned for all teammates. Sadly, this effect does not stag, so if you ate a Mega Mountain and your teammate ate a Mega Mountain, you will only get double the cash rewards. Not quadruple, not octuple, only double. Sometimes the random people you play online with will have eaten a Mega Mountain, and you'll randomly get double your money reward after a match, even if you didn't eat a crab trap sandwich. Maybe they were like me and didn't read the effects, thinking, big one, best one, yum yum yum. Anywho, I suggest you either save those for when you're playing Turf or Anarchy with friends, or if you want to be really generous to the strangers you play with when you go in solo. It is most efficient to use these with friends, since that way, if each of you have a ticket to get one Mega Mountain, everyone will get double the money for a total of 40 to 80 matches depending on how many friends you have. Just remember to only use one at a time and wait till its effects are done for the next teammate to activate theirs. It's a great way to save your tickets for the crab traps when you do play solo later, and a wonderful reason to play the game with pals. If you don't have pals, there's Discord servers, streams, and other cool places to meet and befriend other Splatoon 3 players. I'll link some in the description below. Now, what about Salmon Run? Salmon will get you coins at random. The 5 matches I played till getting the super bonus ended up earning me a whopping 36,000 coins, plus some tickets for those crab trap sandwiches. So always do Salmon Run first, especially if you don't have too much time to play for the day. But once you reach the super bonus, you should switch to another method, since all you're getting from that point on is gear and chunks, no money. This brings me back to the original question. What is the best, most time efficient way to farm money in the game? Because that Salmon Run paycheck is not nearly enough to buy everything in the shops. The answer to that question is, it depends on the weapon you play and your typical win-loss ratio. The coins you get at the end of a match will be determined by several variables. How much much turf do you typically ink? What is your win-loss ratio? How often do you get knocked out or manage to knock out the other team? How far do you push objective on average when you win versus when you lose? But I'm not satisfied with depends, so I did even more math to get a more concrete answer. To get a general estimate for this, I looked at my stats on the average ink I cover with the Splash-O-Matic, Dually Squelchers, Roller, and Clash Blaster. I also used the Splatoon 3 app to look at the scores I get in Anarchy battles and get an average for how far my team pushed when I won versus when I lost. And based on these estimates and averages, I calculated that I would earn more money from Anarchy battles as long as I'm winning around 60% of my matches. Except there's one thing I forgot to mention. For an average player, I would recommend you do turf wars to get more money fast. Why? Because of the amount of time it takes to play a match. Turf wars last 3 minutes. Meanwhile, Anarchy battles are typically 5 minutes long, especially if no knockout happens. So I calculated how much money one would earn on average for 20 matches of both, and then divided by how long it would take to play through those 20 matches. 60 minutes for turf and 90 minutes for Anarchy. The money you earn per minute of gameplay is always greater for turf wars. Well, not always, but you need to be winning your Anarchy matches with a knockout at least 50% of the time. I don't know about you, but I'm nowhere near good enough to be pulling off those kind of win streaks. So for 99.9% of players, turf wars are more efficient. You might have noticed that I didn't include queue times or loading times into the calculations above. That's because they add quite a bit of variability. But I did decide to test this out in practice with all the queue and loading times included and see how it all works out. So I played the turf war for 30 minutes and Anarchy for 30 minutes and got 22,000 coins from turf and only 18,000 coins from Anarchy, which means I earned about 20% more coins from playing turf than I did from Anarchy, and that was with a 70% win rate. The advantage of turf war over Anarchy gets even higher if you have a lower win rate. So to sum things up, here is the most optimal time efficient way to farm money in Splatoon 3. Step 1. Play Salmon Run until you get your super bonus. Step 2. Grab a crab trap sandwich and play some turf war. By the time your 20 matches are done, you should have earned yourself about 50 to 60,000 coins. If you prefer Anarchy, you can expect to earn roughly the same amount, but you will be playing Splatoon for a much longer time. Turf war is the faster way to earn coins. Step 3. Spend all your money at the stores, and then repeat the process. If this video helped you out, consider subscribing to the channel. Also, do let me know what other things you'd like to know about in Splatoon 3. I am more than happy to go and commit more science to help keep the community informed on the game's mechanics. Either way, thanks for watching, hope this helped, and I will see you around.